tale telling contest. We have 3 participants. Their names are Tori, Isaac, and Brendan. These 3 folks will be competing to see who is best at telling the story of Paul Bunyan. The winner will receive $1 million. Why don't you get us started, Tori?
I want to tell you about how Paul Bunyan was born. It took 5 storks just to carry him home to his parents.
He cried so loud that the animals in the wood had to hold their ears. His parents put him in a boat just to rock him to sleep.
He was always hungry. His parents had to feed him a bathtub full of applesauce every hour, otherwise, the rumbling from his stomach would knock down the house like an earthquake.
After 1 week, Paul Bunyan could fit into his father's clothes. After 2 weeks, he wore special clothes made out of a tent. After 3 weeks, he grew a beard.
By the time he was a teenager, he grew to be 20 feet tall. At school, they made him a humongous desk and cut a hole in the roof so his head could stick out.
Paul Bunyan grew up to be a lumberjack. He could cut down 10 tall trees at one time.
It was hard work. The winters were very cold. Sometimes it was so cold that people's words froze in the air. In spring, the words would unfreeze. There would be full of talking.
One winter, Paul Bunyan found a little baby blue ox trapped in the snow. He brought it back to the logging camp right away. Before the ox began to grow, people could actually see it growing right before their eyes. Soon the ox was so big it took a crow one day to fly from one horn to the other.
Paul Bunyan named his new pet Babe. He made Lake Michigan just so it would have a drinking pool.
After Paul Bunyan and his men cut down the trees, they used rivers to carry where their logs went. There was one river that was incredibly twisty. So Paul hitched Babe the ox to one end of the river and Babe pulled it straight.
After a long day of work, Paul Bunyan would be really tired. He always wanted to sleep, but it might still be daylight. So Paul Bunyan would hold his big hand up in front of the sun. The shadow was so big it felt like nighttime.
One time,
Then he go to sleep.
a bee was flying near Paul Bunyan's ear. He slapped at the bee. You could hear the wind from his hair down in Texas.
Paul Bunyan's favorite food was flapjacks. He would cook them on a giant griddle so big you couldn't even see across it. To get the griddle ready, 5 men would put on pork rinds to the bottom of their shoes like ice skates, and they would skate around the griddle, covering it with grease.
One time, Paul Bunyan decided he wanted some popcorn. He poured 100 bags of
popcorn onto the griddle. Soon, popcorn filled the air. Some people thought it was snowing, but it was the middle of summer.
Some people say that Paul Bunyan is still walking around with his ox bait. When you hear thunder, he is clearing his throat. When you see lightning, he is sharpening his axe on the side of a mountain.
Those were all great stories, everybody. It is hard to pick a winner, so I think I will declare this a three-way tie. But the prize is not $1 million. We are actually giving away smiley face stickers. After all, this is a tall tale contest, right?